Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now with our first topic, discussing the Gaza Strip and the UN resolution concerning the ceasefire in Gaza Strip. Actually, Egypt on Monday have welcomed UN Security Council resolution that have called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. And a statement by the Foreign Ministry in Egypt have said that passing this resolution after 5 months of military operations that left Gazans in a catastrophic humanitarian situation is an important step in order to end this bloodshed. Well, to shed more light on this topic, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Mr. Abdel, the political analyst and journalist. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning to you. My pleasure always.
Thank you so much. Mr. Rahman, how did you follow the UN resolution and Egypt's reaction to this important step concerning a resolution of immediate ceasefire?
Well, I believe that the whole free world have welcomed such a new decision by Security Council to cease fire in Gaza Strip. But everybody wondered why the U.S. didn't take sides and stayed in mutual situation towards that decision and did it vote against it, all with it. I believe the explanation came later when a spokesman of the Foreign Affairs, the American Foreign Affairs, has declared that that Zionist existence is not committed to the decision, and it could break it if necessary. Now we can understand the waltzing policy that the U.S. and the Zionist existence are trying to apply in their vicious diplomacy. I believe that today, as we are speaking right now, that Gaza Strip and parts of Rafah are being bombed and under shells in continuing the Zionist aggression against the Palestinians right beside our borders. That is the answer of the Zionist existence against or towards the Security Council decision. I believe that both the U.S. and the Zionist existence are defying the whole world's will and trying to challenge international law, which will have its consequences on the law, on the international law dimensions. But on the ground, the power only speaks for itself, and the aggression continues. And I believe that the decisions made in the Security Council or by the UN, or all the efforts accomplished by the international organizations are going in vain. They don't have the power enough to stop the aggression. Despite this is the most important and situation or decision made by the Security Council and the UN until now, since the beginning of the operation 7th of October. Yes. I believe also that it's time to stop together as Arabs to put an end to this catastrophe in Gaza Strip.
Yes. Now we would like to speak about the reaction of this resolution on the Israeli side. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had agreed to send a delegation to Washington for negotiations. However, but he cancelled it after the United States have abstained on the UN Security Council resolution that demand an immediate ceasefire and did not reject it. So how did you see this reaction?
Negotiations are a long path to go through. Negotiations have never stopped for a moment by all partners, whether regionally or internationally. But deed speaks louder than words, and actions are the true thing that we lack here on the Zionist side. I believe that they are using the negotiations to extend their aggression, and they are extending the aggression to save the cabinet of Benjamin Netanyahu from falling down. As we are witnessing too many demonstrations against the cabinet right now and since months until now, the political crisis in Tel Aviv, they are trying to solve it through extending the aggression. They are running forward from a decision of ceasefire by extending the aggression, because they realize that once the ceasefire, they stop the aggression, then the colonizations and the people in Tel Aviv and the Zionist resistance will punish the cabinet for their failure against the resistance battalions throughout all those months before. Despite, let me say something very clear here. The resistance, what's more than the resistance powers on the ground, is that the resistance spirit is ignited again in the souls and in the mind and in the conscience of the Arabs and all over the world.
Yes.
That is what really matters. I don't really believe the outcome of this war matters. What really matters here is that the resistance power, the resistance spirits have awakened again in the conscience of us as Egyptians, as Arabs, as the whole world, against the one last colonization on earth, which is in the occupied lands in Palestine.
Yes. So, Mr. Abdel, on Sunday, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with visiting UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in Cairo. And the meeting was attended also by Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and the head of the intelligence agency in Egypt, also with the attendance of the UNRWA commissioner. And President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said that there's a must, or it's very important to not to stop financing for the countries that have stopped financing the UNRWA, because the UNRWA helps, of course, the Palestinians. Also, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres went to the Rafah border and have made a press conference and delivered a message to the whole world from in front of the gate from the Egyptian side, and this is the second time that Antonio Guterres visits there. So give us an idea about the importance of this day in putting or adding to the lots of efforts that are exerted by Egypt.
Well, this is a very important remark that you have mentioned. Mr. Guterres, he visits Egypt and the crossing, the Rafah crossing, for the second time. And he's not the only international official that visits the crossing, but too many international officials have visited it and witnessed and declared it to the whole world that the crossing is always open throughout the crisis and before and until now, despite any lies or allegations that claimed by the Zionist existence or the Zionist powers all over the world. Second thing here, I believe there is a strong relation that is being created between Mr. President Abdel and Mr. Antonio Guterres, General Secretary of the UN, throughout the crisis. I believe the integrity of both Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Mr. Antonio Guterres have built a bridge, a strong bridge between Egypt and the international community assembled in Mr. Antonio Guterres, of course. And with our efforts, our common efforts, and our common persistence to find the moment of ceasefire and stepping ahead towards the final resolution, at least for the coming period of time, talking about two-state solution with an independent, that guarantees an independent state, a Palestinian state, with all of associations, whether speaking of army or police and each and every association in the state, and of course with a legitimate new leadership that do not belong to the past, but looking out for the future, a true united leadership for the Palestinians to seize, to find and see the dreams of the Arabic nation in this holy part of land.
Yes, Mr. Rahman, how can we ensure the implementation of this UN resolution of an immediate ceasefire? I mean, the UN have the ability and the authorize of making or ensuring the implementation of this resolution or passing this resolution. So how can we make sure on the implementation of this resolution?
Well, I believe that strong decision or resolution made by the UN are the end of their efforts. They can never cross any more lines.
But
decision.
Sorry to cut you off, but
Sure.
The UN Security Council has the ability to impose sanctions, also authorize military force, or maintain or to restore peace and security.
Of course, of course, this is right only according to the international law, but in such world we are living, with such near history we have witnessed, such laws, such laws like the Seventh Amendment can only be applied on Arabic nations, on Arabic countries, like they have done against Iraq, but never, of course, against the Zionist existence. We can never even imagine that such crucial decisions can be made or accomplished throughout the UN against the Zionist existence, because it's totally under full protection of the US and the Western world. We have all witnessed that Russia is paying the price of supporting the Arabic occupied the Arabic rights in the occupied land by the aggression, the terroristic aggression masterminded by the CIA and the MI6 and the Ukrainian intelligence in the heart of Moscow, just as a punishment for their support of the Palestinians. We can never imagine such fast steps throughout that path. But we can only hope that with the Egyptian support, with the Egyptian determined, that we are determined to stop the bloodshed and determined to use all our powers to find a final resolution, as we are dealing with the situation by all powers we have, and with our communications, with our counterparts, friendly counterparts, and those rare supporters on the official level of the Arabic rights in the occupied lands. Throughout such efforts, I am sure that this bloodshed will stop, and we can smell the breath of freedom again from the Palestinian lands.
Yes. Yes. Mr. Abdurrahman, why do you think that the U.S. did not use the veto this time?
Well, I believe that the veto game is a game masterminded by the superpowers in the world, and they all use it for their own benefits. I'm not saying there are goods and bads. I'm talking about benefits. I'm talking about interests. When the U.S. didn't use veto option in the last decision, just because they have saved for themselves the liberty to announce that the decision is not committing to the Zionist existence, as if they are playing with the international law and playing with the souls of the thousands of martyrs in the Arabic occupied lands, as well as they have supported another aggression and colonization against Iraq 20 years ago, and until now, Iraq is more divided than united as a result of this aggression, the American and the European aggression against it. This is a history of colonization, and we should go stronger by uniting our own efforts as Arabs, as the friendly nations that can support our march towards a better future for the Arabic nation and, of course, for the whole world. The stability of this region means stability for the whole world.
Yes, so I thank you very much for your time. I thank you for your valuable information, Mr. Amr Abdurrahman, the political analyst, journalist, and writer. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. I really had the pleasure to have this phone with you. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.